Hey guys, Level Cap here. Today I have a massive leak on the next Battlefield game called Battlefield Hardline. This information came directly from Battlelog. Somebody by the name of Cohen seems to have found a lot of the files in Battlelog while searching around in there, and we have quite a bit of information, so stay tuned if you want to learn about all the guns and vehicles available in the game. Now this is the first leaked image. It could be concept art, it could be an actual in-game rendering. It looks like we're going to get some serious downtown urban combat, which would make sense considering that game modes are called Heist, Blood Money, and the two teams are going to be SWAT and Thieves. Now the four classes have also been discovered: Operator, Mechanic, Enforcer, and Professional. It looks, based on the icons, that these are all kind of the traditional Battlefield 4 classes. They have just been renamed to more of a police theme. Now let's talk guns and gadgets. This image again was pulled from Battlelog. Starting from the top left, we have an AK-47 with a magazine that looks a little bit larger than your standard AK mag, so perhaps we'll get an extended mag option, or maybe it just comes standard with 40 rounds. Next to that we have the Riot Shield. Next to that we have a baseball bat, which leads me to think that there's going to be more than just one kind of melee weapon, or maybe melee weapons that do different sorts of things. That's kind of an exciting prospect. Next to that we have a C4 charge, something that I don't think any Battlefield game can really get away from that. Next to that we have something that looks like an adrenaline pen or an EpiPen. This could maybe be used to give you a health boost, or maybe you inject it and you can run faster. The item next to that looks like a placeable camera. I imagine this will be a gadget for the professional class. Maybe you can look through and anticipate enemies coming. Maybe it auto spots people. There's a lot of possibilities for this. Then we have a Stinger on the next line down, and this means that we're going to have air vehicles in the game, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Then we have the good old G36C. Hopefully it's getting a little bit of a boost from Battlefield 4 so that it's actually decent. Then we have a smoke grenade, and next to that a grappling hook. This is something we have not seen since Battlefield 2 Special Forces, and in Battlefield 2 you could use it to essentially climb to the rooftop of any building. I have a feeling it's going to be used very similarly here, and this does make me a bit concerned because people being able to get on the top of any building, which I hope is not the case, but if it is, it's going to really play hell with level design and tactical progression throughout a map. Then we have the M67 frag grenade, and next to that it looks like it's the H&K 45 Compact. Next line down we have an Uzi, something we haven't seen in a Battlefield game for a while. Then we have the Bayonet. Next to that we have a little device that looks like it could be a Tugs, it could be a motion mine, it could be a bouncing Betty type landmine. I'm really not sure what this device is. Next on the list we have the good old M16 assault rifle. I really hope this is a full auto version of the gun, because I am tired of my burst fire M16A4. Next to that is the M40 sniper rifle. Then we have the M9 pistol. Next line down we have the G36. Next to that is the oh so recognizable P90. It looks like the G3 is making a return in Battlefield Hardline. Then we have the Tonfa behind that, so another melee weapon. We'll see if there is a big difference between, say, a Tonfa and a baseball bat. We have a good old RPG next to that, a blowtorch, or Repairtool as it's called in Battlefield. Next to that is the SKS. And then amazingly, there is a double-barreled shotgun, which is kind of exciting. It definitely fits the theme of cops and robbers. Next to that, we have the Smith & Wesson 640. Then we have a Taser gun, which is making me think that there's going to be some sort of non-lethal takedown, or else just some sort of really, really long and painful death. Then we have the Tech 9, which you don't really see in too many Battlefield games. In fact, I think it's only been in Battlefield Heroes. Next to that, we have the UMP, which I'm hoping is the UMP 45 and not the UMP 9. Then we have a Crossbow, and unlike the one from Battlefield 3 that was seemed to be fashioned from parts found around the environment, this is a full-on manufactured crossbow. It'll be interesting to see if this weapon has any other utility to it, just because when I think cops and robbers, I don't necessarily think about the robbers having crossbows, but then again, I don't really think about crossbows in a wartime environment either. And last on the list, it looks like we have the good old Remington 870 back in the game, a pump-action shotgun that I can never get tired of. Then we have some attachments. Everything here looks pretty standard. In fact, almost everything here looks like it's directly from Battlefield 4. There is a magazine on the second line down, and this leads me to believe that there will probably be some extended mag options for many of the guns. Now, we don't have any in-game images of the vehicles, but again, these were taken from Battlelog, and it looks like we're going to get 4 different kinds of helicopters there. Up top, it looks like we're going to get some sort of scout helicopters. At the bottom, it looks like we've got some transport helis, and then a ton of transport vehicles. In fact, I don't see any tanks or APCs in this image here. It looks like there's definitely going to be some armored vehicles with guns on top, but it looks like we're also going to get a lot of police cruisers. So definitely more of an emphasis, I'm thinking, on transportation vehicles rather than things that have tons of armor and tons of guns. There also seems to be a gas truck on the second line down. I highly doubt there's going to be a refueling mechanic in Battlefield Hardline, so I imagine you're just going to drive this thing into the enemy base and set it off. Then we have some images of in-game awards here. I'm not really sure what most of it means. It looks like we kind of have some standard weapon awards there, some standard kill awards. There's one with handcuffs in there, and I wonder if that's related to a game mode or something that you do in-game, just as there's a money bag one there that could easily be tied into, say, the game mode heist. Now, the last little bit of juicy information here is a logo from Visceral Games. It's been talked about a lot that DICE may not be developing the next Battlefield game, and it looks like this pretty much confirms that Visceral Games will be developing this. They're well known for making the Dead Space series, and what's really interesting about this is that employees from Visceral left to form Sledgehammer Games back in 2009, and they are making the new Call of Duty game. So all from one area, we've got Battlefield and Call of Duty coming from the same developer background. Kind of an interesting story there. So that certainly gives us a lot of food for thought for the next Battlefield game. What do you guys think about a cops and robbers themed game? It's the first Battlefield game, I think, in history that is not actually focused around a war theme and more of an urban police, cops, and robbers theme. I mean, I don't know, there could be a war behind it, but it doesn't seem so. So lots of changes here. The first Battlefield game not being developed by DICE, and the first Battlefield game that is not focused around a war setting. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you like this? Could you enjoy a police-themed Battlefield game, or are you just gonna wait for Battlefield 5? As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.